Dokken. In my personal opinion at least, they're one of the best bands to come out of the 80s. I mean, they're better than Motley Crue, better than Rat, better than the rest of the glam and quote-unquote hair metal bands of the time. And I use hair metal in quotation marks because it's unfair to lump this band in with Poison and Bon Jovi and other such bands alike. Mainly because their look was the only thing that made them associate with the aforementioned hair bands. I mean, come on, listen to Paris is Burning, Tooth and Nail, Lightning Strikes Again, Unchained the Night, and try and tell me with a straight face that this shit is hair metal. But anyway, by this point, Dokken had been going strong with gold and platinum albums, successful tours, hit singles on MTV, and so by the time 1987 rolled around, shit was starting to hit the fan. Meaning, of course, the obligatory alcohol addiction, drug addictions, and last but not least, the rivalry of a frontman and a lead guitarist. So huge in fact that sometimes they even overshadowed the band itself. All of said things were contributing factors to the band's demise. So as you can see, Dokken are another band who are followers of the gospel according to Van Halen. But before the band went belly up, they crafted arguably the best work of their career. And that work's name is Back for the Fucking Attack. And the word attack is in there for a reason, because this album is an all-out assault, where George Lynch's guitar tone perfected, Don Dokken's voice at its ever-loving peak, and Mick Brown and Jeff Pilson at the top of their game, as well as arguably the band's best songwriting to date. But anyway, the opening track is the immortal classic, that is Kiss of Death. The album starts with the guitar to let you know exactly what kind of album it's gonna be, as well as the maiden-like gallop and chugging, with lyrics about the AIDS epidemic. As she took me in her arms, I felt the devil's charm, and suddenly I see my final destiny with a kiss of death. Great riff, great subject matter and lyrics, and a kick-ass solo to boot. You cannot go wrong with Kiss of Death. And then we get into Prisoner. Awesome track. Don Dokken is definitely the star of the song, with hooks out the ass, a very memorable chorus, and backing vocals only topped by the likes of Queen and Van Halen. It's Now or Never, Get Out of the Way. Night by Night is a great track and I absolutely love that pre-chorus. I love how sinister it sounds. And also a reoccurring theme you'll see in a lot of these albums' tracks is that it's better than most band singles, especially in this era of music, especially when mainstream metal was seriously starting to decline in 1987. Standing in the Shadows, one of my lesser favorites, believe it or not, but I still do enjoy it. It's kind of fillery, but it's still Dokken and more memorable than most bands' filler, what can I say? Heaven Sent, perhaps my favorite track of this album. Don's vocals are both bluesy and soaring. George's bluesy licks in the verses perpetuate that this is basically a blues song in 80s disguise, with George's solo encapsulating the likes of both Jimi Hendrix and Eddie Van Halen, but with the solo still being quintessential George Lynch. I mean, just behind Tooth and Nail, this is the best George Lynch solo, by far. I mean, not much else to say, but this song is simply put amazing. Listen to it, immediately. Mr. Fucking Scary. This song is to George Lynch what Eruption is to Eddie Van Halen, or what Fractured Mirror is to Ace Frehley. This is the epicenter of George Lynch. If you want to explain to someone who George Lynch is, then you play them this song. This song was definitely inspired by neoclassical metal guitarists such as Yngwie Malmsteen, who was huge at the time. But in my opinion, this song destroys anything Yngwie has ever put out. And don't get me wrong, because I don't hate Yngwie Malmsteen, I just think George does this kind of thing better. I'm sorry. So Many Tears is actually pretty good for what it is, because you can basically tell that this is a Don Dokken creation mainly. Now what I mean by that is, this album is kind of the perfect meld of both George Lynch and Dokken, meaning both their styles melded so fucking well. I mean, this album's some of the heaviest of riffs and greatest of melodies. And some songs it's kind of like an even split of both George and Don. And some songs kind of favor one of the other in their styles. For this instance, it's Don. It favors Dokken. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, because I love Dokken. I love his voice. But, I don't know, this song, mainly in its lyrics, is a bit too cheesy. Then I also think it's a tad too long. I mean, 5 minutes is a bit too long, in my opinion, for this song. I think they could have scraped it down to a decent 3.5 minutes, or maybe even 4 if they really wanted to push it. Burning Like a Flame. Kinda like Just Got Lucky Part 2, but I don't mind, because Just Got Lucky rules and so does this song. This song is definitely the poppiest song on the album, and it basically sounds like a metalized version of Cheap Trick. And Cheap Trick fucking rule. And the video, oh god, the video. With Dokken as fireman, and George's guitar turning into a huge giant skeleton monster like in a Ghostbusters movie during his guitar solo. Oh wait, no, now that I say it out loud, it sounds really fucking stupid. But anyway, Burning Like a Flame, it's a great slab of pop metal. I mean, what can I say, it's just a classic track. Oh, and let's not forget, George using his guitar as a pool stick, because that's how it works. Lost Behind the Wall. It's an alright song, I guess. I mean, it isn't bad, but it does come across as filler. And is it just me, or does George's solo just sound like parts from the solo in Tooth and Nail? Stop Fighting Love. Again, it's alright, but it's nothing special. It's filler for me, I guess. Cry of the Gypsy. Another filler, nothing to see here. Honestly, this album, if it was shorter and it took away these 3 songs, without a shadow of a doubt, it would be my favorite Dokken release. But this song and the 2 previous stop it from being that. I mean, Under Lock and Key, 10 tracks. Tooth and Nail, 10 tracks. Shit, even its Cohesion Challenge stepbrother, Breaking the Chains, only had 10 tracks. I mean, come on, at some point you need to know when to cut the fat. And this right here is fat. I'm sorry. Sleepless Night. I dig this song, you know, slow, bluesy, and sexy. Kind of sounds like something from the 70s or something, so it doesn't exactly fit the definition or the description of an 80s metal song. I mean, it's not exactly amazing. I mean, just because it's different to what the band usually do doesn't mean I have to like it, but I think it's pretty good for what it is and what it's trying to do. Dream Warriors. I'm sure the song chaps Don Dokken's ass, because if you've heard a decent amount of interviews with the man, you've probably heard him say that he wrote all the hits. Which is untrue, because most, if not all, of the band's hits were a collab effort from either multiple or all members of the band. Or even this song, which is Dokken's biggest hit, and Don had nothing to do with it. It was written by George and Jeff Pilson, for fuck's sake. But anyway, from the classic of a film, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, motherfucking Dream Warriors rips. This song starts with an eerie and creepy vibe, then blasts off to an amazing rocker with some of Don's greatest vocal performances, one of George's best solos. I mean, hell, I'm running out of things to say, because what can you say about the song that hasn't already been said? It's simply put, superb. And that puts an end to the little classic known as Back for the Attack. And I'd like to thank you very much for watching, but before I go, I thought I'd tune you into what I'm doing next. Because I thought it would be a great idea, since I'm reviewing Dokken's highest selling album, the fan favorite of the band's discography, I thought I should also take a look at an album that came out when the band couldn't get arrested, and that didn't sell squat, and is generally known as one of, if not the band's worst offering. That's right. Join me next time when glam goes grunge, and I review 1997's reviled Shadow Life. God help me.